Some companies, and I'll even say a lot of companies a year ago, really were struggling with labor. They couldn't find anybody. It's still the case, but it seems to have gotten a little bit better. But nobody could find labor, and that was the reason they needed to automate. It wasn't because of the ROI. It wasn't because they needed to be more efficient. It was because they just needed something to get the job done and to be able to produce their product. Jumping back into the data that we're gonna need videos of the operations, we're gonna need photos of the operation, we're gonna need different part numbers and how many different variations of part numbers there are, and we need those product details. We need to know dimensions, payload, and depending on what your product is, some companies have 100 variants and all the products are very similar, they just change in dimensions, whereas there's other customers where every single thing changes about the product, the contour, the shape, dimensions, weight, so many different variables are there. So one thing that will help do is identify your level of variance and what is the complexity and the differences between variants. And then sometimes we have to come up with a solution that is able to automate a certain number of those variants to ensure that the ROI is there for the system. Because if you start adding too many different variants and you have too many different variants of parts that have a lot of complexities and differences from one another, then it will start to increase the cost of the system by quite a bit, because every product that is different from one another generally needs some type of tooling change, fixturing change, and all these things add up when it comes to the cost of the system.